I think you're on the right track. I think you trying to continue to mend that relationship or build that back with your mom is important. But I think a lot of us get kind of caught on what we did, like what we don't know, what we never had, that we forget that we can use that to kind of implement what we don't know and didn't have.
What would be the 3 biggest takeaways from the things that you've experienced that you're trying to make sure these things don't seep, as much as they probably will to some degree, but as the things that you're most conscious of that you don't want to kind of like, carry over into the relationship you have with your daughter?
I don't want her to lose her voice. I want her to be vocal.
Even the other day, I asked Haley, I said, yo, how am I doing? And she's like, what? And I'm like, as a parent, as your father, how am I, like, is there something I can do better that makes you feel like I hear you more? Like, because I don't want to like, do the whole, like, because I said so. Right. Until they're adults and now they're doing it to their kids and their kids don't have a voice and then their kids don't have a voice.
And still I feel no pressure. Surrounded by dogs, giving you game, we giving you lecture. Say thank you to God, we got another day to be better. And if it get hard, just need another day with the fellas. We about to give you that work. Say your name man like it's church. We finna give you that work. Just like Serena we serve. You want the truth by your shirt. My phone get fly like bird. But we all lost boys, no search.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Nun The Wizer podcast. Yes, we are here with 2 lovely ladies in the middle and 1 on my left, but we're going to start with the audio extraordinaire, my guy, Podcast Poe. Show that man some love. Thank you for holding it down on audio tip as always. We got the first lady in the building, Miss Amara, the queen, holding it down. She's not behind the camera today, guys.
Right.
She has a lot to talk about. And then we have a special guest, Shiki, baby. She's holding us down. Show her some love. Obviously, we don't have Trip here today. Trip decided he didn't want to hang out with us. Nah, he's on vacation. He deserves it. Enjoy it. He's at the Dreamville concert, enjoying himself. And of course, you got me, Walkstradam, as your gracious host. I appreciate you guys for all being here today on time, because we've been struggling with on time lately. So before we get started on what the topic is today, I just want to do a little healthy check-in, see how everybody's weekend was doing. Who would like to start?
My weekend was good.
You're not starting.
I gardened this weekend.
Oh, okay. I'll go back to you.
Right.
So
she's a gardener.
So this weekend, I ordered a greenhouse and stuff like that, and then I ordered what is it called?
Yep.
I just started gardening, so I don't know the terminology for everything, but an above ground garden thing. I don't know what it's called.
What are you planting?
I'm doing tomatoes. Ooh. I'm doing melons. I'm doing asparagus.
Wow.
Okay. Versatile.
Your guys let you do all this in his yard?
He don't have a choice. That's my home.
He
made his contribution to the family.
You done took that man's whole yard over. How you know you didn't want to plant some shit?
Are you
How you know you want to plant some weed or something?
Are you supposed to live for your kids or not?
Just let her.
So yeah. Like I said, we started doing that this weekend. Unfortunately, I only did like the seedlings like inside because it's way like yesterday it was hailing.
No, facts. The weather's been crazy. The weather's been crazy.
Yeah,
like,
it's been crazy.
It's April. Like, get a grip. But, yeah, other than that, like, that was cool. Definitely did that.
Wow.
And today, did my little shebang. We won't talk about that. But, yeah, that was my weekend.
If you ever need help, let me know. I used to be a farmer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That nigga is lying through his teeth.
No, I'm serious.
Where?
For real?
In Dover. I used to work in Dover, Massachusetts.
No, that would be really cool because I really do need help, especially like with the. I feel like I'm being really nerdy, but especially like with the plants in the ground, like the carrots and. And
oh yeah, I got you. Yeah, easy.
I need to
light
know
work.
how far it goes.
Intriguing. Let's go to Vaughn. I didn't know that was a thing.
Listen, I like new stuff. So.
I used to be a farmer.
My nigga's a whole farmer. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
He does everything. Remember he did ballet too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the ballet
Multi
too.
talented.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
All this time I thought he just planted a little weed, but go ahead.
No weed now.
He's nah.
He's like, not those type of weeds.
Yeah. My weekend was good. My daughter turned 11.
Okay.
So,
hey, shout out Haley.
Shout out Haley.
1-1 in the building.
So,
birthday.
Shout her out.
and she was still getting on my nerves, bro.
Oh, wow.
Nah, I'm playing. Nah, she was great. It was great.
He wasn't lying.
Yeah, it was great.
Right.
Me and Day did this thing where instead of like buying her a bunch of gifts, we went and did like a like gift cards, a bunch of different gift cards inside of like a photo album.
Oh.
So it's like, you know, you open it and it's like, oh, you know, happy birthday and blah, blah, blah. And then the first gift card, it was like a Fortnite, like $20 Fortnite thing.
She's a gamer?
Cute.
Yeah, oh yeah, she be killing on Fortnite. So it's like when you feel like,
Who's
you know,
better, her?
whipping somebody at, who, Micah? Her or Micah?
Her, Micah, yeah.
On Fortnite? I'm a...
You don't
Go on
want to
camera.
I'm gonna say Micah because
Not by
he
much.
been playing longer, but Haley now, like, she's on it.
Okay.
That's one of those games I never got good at. I
Me
wanted
neither.
to.
I tried. I couldn't build nothing, so I just left it alone. But yeah, so it was like the Fortnite thing was like, you know, for when you're in the mood to kick some ass, not the you know, that verbiage, but some ice cream stuff when you want a sweet treat. So like then she'll have to like take pictures when she does, you know, when she uses it or when she like goes to get some ice cream to put it in the photo album. So like, you know, she kind of redeemed it.
Y'all trying to be those cute TikTok parents. It's nice.
Sure,
I
yeah.
bet you didn't put nothing on camera.
Right.
Nah, we didn't use them yet.
The cameras?
Yeah.
No, like giving her the gift.
The stuff, like when she was accessed, like you didn't put her on camera.
Oh,
Right.
nah.
That was a
Come on.
nice.
I'm very
Welcome
in
to the 21st
I
century.
know. I'm very in the moment.
Yeah.
I don't.
Right. No, I get it.
Yeah.
He's not a social media
Yeah.
camera
Yeah.
Yeah.
on a spot.
So should I
person.
stop following you on TikTok?
Unfollow
No,
me
sir.
now.
be on there.
That's a good point. That's a good
Right.
point. That might have been all right.
This guy. So
Good weekend,
I'm
though.
gonna start by saying my weekend was how it always is. I sit behind the goddamn computer for fucking 6 hours editing. So
That's amazing.
y'all, I'm sick of you niggas putting me to work. I'm sick of it.
Come on now, don't do
No,
that.
but no. I actually had a pretty good weekend, and even though it was for a very limited amount of time, I got to fly my drone.
Oh,
Yeah.
how's that?
It's cool, but like I am staying near the airport, so there's like a height restriction,
Yeah.
and you can only go 50 feet. 50 feet with a drone is insulting.
Yeah, it's nothing.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Is that only because you're by the airport?
Because I'm by the airport.
Well, you should bring it here.
I actually
'cause
have it in the car
airspace.
because of the airspace being shared with the airport. So there's like a very limited, like outside of that airspace, you can go up to like 500 feet or something. And then you have to learn the conversion because they do it in meters. We don't live by the metric
It's
system.
actually more simpler than the metric. I mean,
But my black ass don't know. I'm used to feet. So I was like, hey Siri, how high is this? But no, it was cool. It was I got it for a crazy deal. Cause that right now that shit's going for like $2,000. But I bought it from this old guy that didn't. He was like, yeah, I don't fly it anymore for $300.
Oh wow, that's a deal.
Well, and he gave me like the drone bag and like
Oh, nah, you
Yeah,
came
my
up.
damn
You
day,
came
yeah.
up.
I was like, nigga. But when he sold it to me, the battery didn't work. I won't tell you what I did because Amazon.
Okay.
I love Amazon, but yeah.
Okay.
It works now.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
all that
saying, don't
matters.
even say
Y'all know what I did.
Yeah.
Y'all know.
Yeah.
All right, Sheiks, you're not off the hook. What'd you do this
What?
weekend? Yeah.
Y'all know I'm an old lady. I didn't really do anything. I took my kids to the dentist. Regular stuff, grocery store.
For the weekend?
That's what I do. I be in my mother bag. I didn't really do anything. I was
didn't know the
supposed to
dentist
go
was
out
open.
Friday night with my boy, but I didn't go. So I stayed in bed. I'm an auntie.
Where was y'all gonna go?
You didn't
He
make
wants
me
to go to
yawn like 3
Unity.
times just telling this story. This shit boring.
You know
huh?
what?
Yeah,
Don't
I mean, at least
start.
you made our chicken.
Right.
He
That
wanted
shit-
to go to Unity
shit was
because
fire.
Unity was lit, but I was just like,
Yeah, I heard
my
everybody was
social
there.
media now that I'm getting older, like my social media is just like, ugh. I don't want to be around people that
Stuff
much.
be happening on my social media. I just
When y'all say social media, am I following the same social media? Because
It's
you be
definitely
acting a damn
Facebook.
fool on social media.
What? No, I don't. Oh, you
She
mean
calmed
like
down.
You mean through my posts?
Yeah.
That's just me posting. But like in real life, I'm real like I'm chill.
You keep telling yourself that.
I mean,
I feel like she calmed down a lot.
That's how you feel?
Yeah.
I love you, girl.
I won't.
I love that you guys
can't
feel.
No, I didn't
confirm
do
or
nothing
deny.
crazy this weekend. Maybe next weekend when the weather's better.
No,
I'll
the
be
weather's
outside.
definitely fucking everything up. Like
Yeah,
nobody wants to do
so-
nothing in this weather. At least I don't. I wanted to go out and take some like street
The
photography.
groundhog's a
That's a
liar.
fact.
But I'm like,
Okay.
I don't want to be
You
out
know,
in the
niggas
cold.
lie every day.
Word.
Are you throwing shots?
I hope not.
No, she
about the
said the
groundhog.
groundhog.
Oh, the ground. I thought you
Yeah.
said niggas lie every day. I'm like,
Yeah,
what
and I
do you
mean,
do?
That's in reference to the groundhog. He's a nigga. Niggas lie every day.
I think the groundhog.
All right.
That's
but no,
crazy.
to wrap it up, I didn't do anything crazy this weekend. I just been in the house.
But you did make our chicken.
I did. Yes, I cooked y'all chicken
Wow,
today.
you
What?
and this chicken, man.
First off,
It was glistening.
did y'all not eat? Were y'all not entertained?
It was.
Shout out to
Were you not
Sheik's, okay?
entertained?
I appreciate y'all.
What's the name of your business? I'm
have-
gonna name it right now. Sheik's Catering.
You know what? Okay, there you go.
Let's go.
You didn't even try. That was my
I didn't. I was about to say something inappropriate, so I just.
We could have edited it.
Oh, she
Yeah.
didn't try. Oh, she went upstairs.
No, she ate the chicken before she
Oh, I
went
sure
upstairs.
did.
She was
Oh,
the first one to eat the
Oh,
chicken.
yeah. She did. She did.
I sure did.
Yep.
All right, so we all know why we're here.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're here today to talk about daughter-mother dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, we can't really divulge into that
You sure?
since I'm not a daughter. Oh, you want to go there?
You guys could still divulge from
Yeah, we're
seeing
gonna.
it,
Yeah,
or maybe other family members that
absolutely.
you've
But
witnessed.
do you want to go there with me today?
No, we're past that.
Yeah, you don't want this one. But no, so we're talking about mother-daughter dynamics. First off, thank you guys for being vulnerable enough to have those conversations.
Facts.
I know it's not easy. So I will start with you, Sheiks. What kind of relationship do you currently have with your mother, and is it a better relationship than you had growing up with her?
If I'm going to be completely transparent, it's not a great relationship.
Today.
It's not that it's like bad. Like my mom, don't get me wrong, my mom's a great mom. She's a great grandmother. Everything that I could imagine. But like growing up and even up until this point in my adult life, it's not what it should be as far as communication and that feeling of acceptance and you know what I mean? Like it's not there.
Do you feel like that's something that she, as a mother, should address, or is it something that, since you are kind of acknowledging it being something that's missing, that maybe you should address?
It's so funny. So I was actually mentioning this to Trip like last month about like I was just venting to him about what was going on, and I was just like, she's the mom and she should, address it. Like that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? If there's an issue, like even with my child now, I'm gonna address it.
Right.
And I just feel like she's so stuck in her ways, especially Caribbean parents. They're very stuck in their ways, and she's just like, she doesn't even want to acknowledge it. And if I bring it up, it's deemed as disrespect, or
Right.
I'm getting out of my character or whatever, even if I'm really not, you know what I mean? So it's really hurtful, honestly. It's really hurtful to experience that and watch it go from generation to generation. Because from my sisters to my nieces to my kids, I've watched it. So
Yeah, that just sucks to hear. Just because one, it's very familiar. Like even obviously, I don't have that kind of relationship with a mom and a daughter, but just visually seeing that, like with my cousins or with my, even with my nephews and nieces who are younger, you can kind of see that little bit of a dynamic where it's like, no, I'm the adult, you're the kid, but it's like, I'm also an adult now, and I'd like to express myself in a way where it's like, hey, this is how I feel, and I would like to get to a common ground, but it's like, you're put in this space where it's like, oh, you're being disrespectful. And it's like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I also would like to get to a common ground where,
Right. Just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean it's disrespectful.
yeah. And I think that I don't think that's exclusive to Caribbean parents, because I don't
No.
think it's.
I was gonna
it's
definitely
not.
mention that too.
But because I'm Caribbean, I was
no.
highlighting it.
But no,
But
but
it's definitely something that is very prominent.
But I was gonna say it's very prominent, and it's like, because I know like Haitians, whoo,
yeah.
that motherfucker be going through it.
Yeah, it's a fact.
So and we'll dive deeper in that in a second. I just want you to answer that question as well, Miss Amara. What is your relationship with your mom currently, and is it better or worse than it was growing up?
I think with my mom, our relationship has always been good. Thank the Lord. I think that there's things that I don't necessarily like that she does as a parent, but I think that
Are these things that you acknowledge now that you're a parent, or is these things that you kind of always identified?
I have acknowledged it before I became a parent, but I'm more vocal about it now that I'm a parent. And like when I do vocalize them, it's tough hearing that you did something when you think that you did the best that you could. And I understand that as a mom. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there's stuff that I do that is not gonna be the best when my son grows up. But when I say stuff, it's like, yeah, you're making that up. Like, okay, so I'm a liar. That sounds good. All right, so the conversation's over.
So basically, like when you're calling her out on like past transgressions or something, like they want to know. It's like I think just as kids, we all experience that to some degree.
That's a fact. Yep.
That never happened. I'll give you an example. When growing up, y'all know y'all can't wear the same shit to school.
Yeah.
Like at least during the week.
Yeah.
Like during a 5-day school week.
Yeah.
5 different outfits. My grandmother be like, "No, I love that sweater. Wear it again." No, you can't do that. You are ruining my life. So
now you're ruining my life.
Ruining my life is crazy.
Nah, dead ass, because at school they was tearing my ass up.
Especially UPS.
So as an adult, I would
gotta
like
wear
bring
uniform.
her, like I made her aware, like, yeah, you would do this, and she's like, never. I'm like, so my trauma not real. So it didn't happen.
Right.
You just making it up.
I just made that up.
Just never happened.
So I bet. So I totally understand where you're coming from in that aspect. But do you? So you said you're more vocal now. Mm-hmm. Do you find your mom to be receptive? Maybe not as receptive as you'd like, but is there some reception where you feel like there's
I feel
room
like,
to work
you know
on?
what's crazy? When we had this conversation initially, like last week, she wasn't. Like anything that I said, she was just like, gosh, you and your childhood, like you just feel like you went through so much. And it's just like, I did. But,
Right.
They
like,
try to downplay it.
Right. But
Yeah.
like I brought up something recently, like this week, and I was telling her about, what were we talking about? I was telling her, like, after you had, like, my younger sister, she's, like, 11 years younger than me. I was like, after you had her, you kind of just didn't care for me anymore. Like, I had to, like, pay for my own clothes, feed myself, and yada, yada, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And at first, she was just like, that never happened. She called my grandmother, her and my grandmother on the phone, like, yeah, like, she's being dramatic, taking her side. So I get on three-way with them, and I'm just like, listen, I understand if I hurt your feelings, but again, I'm telling you about what I went through. I'm not saying it to be malicious.
Right.
I just need you to know that that's what happened. And she was just like, you know what? I never really thought about it like that. Like, yada, yada. But before, I don't know. Maybe she heard me talking shit.
And knowing you was talking shit.
Right. Before, she would never.
Yeah,
like, I was dramatic. Like, let her tell it. Like, this girl is just crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
It's such an insult to your childhood, like as you're trying to heal from trauma, and you're like you caused it, maybe not with intent,
right,
or like malice, like you said, but I'm trying to get to the source of this, and you're the source.
It's hurtful because I still feel like I'm not being seen. Like here I am presenting my grief or whatever it is to you, and you're still just like deflecting.
So you made a comment earlier where you said that you feel like it's the responsibility of the parent. If they're not taking that responsibility and you're trying to get to a place of healing, what makes you not want to take that step? And even if it's uncomfortable, is it because of your pride of saying it's not my responsibility?
I'm very prideful, I would admit that. So you mean in terms of addressing it as the child?
Yes.
yeah.
Because I feel like, before I let you answer that, I think the issue becomes like, one, they don't even see it the way you see it.
Right.
So I think it's your responsibility to paint that picture for them. Even if that picture is very ugly for them, it doesn't make it any less of a clear picture. So, you may have to take that responsibility even though you don't want to.
Yeah. I think I've tried to, but I think I've done it in the wrong way. It always escalated into an argument or being hostile. Like the environment was just, it wasn't right. And me and my mother were like, I'm a Taurus, she's a Scorpio, so
honey,
that you know how that goes.
I don't
know.
I'm sure you'll tell me.
I was gonna say,
I'm very stubborn, but Scorpios are also, I think, very equally stubborn and judgmental, stuck in their ways. But anyways,
two sides of the same coin.
Okay.
There's been times where I've tried to address it, and it never went the way it should in a healthy form. So I just kind of gave up after a while.
I think that's something that helped me even have this conversation with my mom in a different way than it has. Was, I go to therapy. And this week we have been discussing a lot about boundaries and also how to assert your boundaries and how you bring up like problems with other people.
Right.
And it actually really helped me a lot, because even when like she would get off course and I felt like she was attacking me, I would still be calm. I would not like start coming at her like how I usually was, because one thing about it, you come at me, I'm gonna come at you. So don't start. No, it won't be nothing. But this time it was kind of just like, okay, no, I understand that, but A, B, and C. This is still the point.
Right.
I understand where you're coming from, but A, B, and C. This is still the point. And just kind of reiterating that just kind of made like, yeah, you're going to get my point regardless of if you feel like you are right now or later on when you think about it in bed. So.
Yeah, but you gotta get that shit through your head. But one way or another.
The older generation, they don't want to take any accountability.
That's a fact.
Like at all. Like I don't think that's a thing that even exists in their minds, in their worlds. Like accountability is just out the window for them. Like all they know is I provided for you.
Yep.
Right.
But for me, that's not enough. What about the love? What about the nurturing? What about me being able to come to you and talk to you and tell you how I feel? Like that is important growing
Absolutely.
up.
No, I totally agree. And I think, and that's obviously not exclusive to mom and daughter dynamics.
Yeah.
Right.
It's hard to have those conversations because of those very reasons. You're like, you alive, right?
Right.
It's
The
like-
lights is on, right?
You got the lights on.
You had dinner?
You got a roof over your head.
Yeah.
You ate.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah, but I still feel like
I don't
crap.
want to say something like that's the bare minimum because that's, an insult to the work that they've
That is
provided.
the bare minimum because you brought me into the world. I didn't bring
Yeah,
myself.
it's merely your responsibility.
But I also, to be fair, and I'll play devil's advocate for a moment, you can't do something you'll never receive, right? In most cases. Like, you know what you know and you don't know what you don't know.
That's true.
And it's like, it's hard for me to express something that I've never had expressed to me. So I think, it is room for grace for your parents.
For sure.
But within that grace, there's, you gotta, like you said, there has to be accountability where it's like, hey, I feel like this, and you are the source of my feelings, and it's not going to work. I'm always going to have this bitterness or resentment towards you if we don't try to work through these problems. And like you said, your relationship with your mom's probably strained because you've accepted the fact that we've hit a ceiling. I don't know how to get past it. I don't know how to break through this ceiling because she is who she is. I am who I am. But I guess my next question would be is how important is it where you're doing whatever it takes to break that ceiling?
It's very important. I was just going to say the work has to be done. Like you could sit here all day and say, oh, well, we need to do X, Y, Z, or, it's not working. But if no one's doing the work, it's pointless.
Right.
It's important to me, but also it's a struggle for me because now that I have a child, it's hard for me to show her what I haven't received.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like I'm in the midst of struggling with that because it's like generationally, I'm just watching this thing play out.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I love my daughter to death. Like this whole world will be on fire when it comes to her. But like in terms of like just situations, like I'm trying so hard just to like sit down, talk to her a little bit more, whatever. But it's so hard for me because
It's awkward.
even now in my adulthood, I can't get it with my mom.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and I can't even figure out why or what the issue is.
You mimic what you see. So at the end of the day, even though you know you want, even though you want to be better, you were never given the tools to do that. So at the end of the day, you're trying to teach yourself those tools.
I think no matter how uncomfortable that could be for you, right? You gotta push past that for your daughter.
Yeah.
And I know that it is uncomfortable because I deal with it too, right? Like, and I'm like, I think the kids will appreciate even seeing your level of discomfort and like knowing that you're trying to push through that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think you're on the right track. I think you trying to continue to mend that relationship or build that back with your mom is important. But I think a lot of us get kind of caught on what we did, like what we don't know, what we never had, that we forget that we can use that to kind of implement what we don't know and didn't have. You know what I'm saying? Like it's easy for me to go, I didn't have a dad, so I don't know what it's like, but I also know what I wanted. Right. So in that, being that for your child is like, you still have that opportunity no matter what happens, no matter if you continue to work on that relationship with your mom and it just doesn't go where you want it to go, you can still have that for your daughter.
Yeah. And I think I try. I just don't do it as frequently as I should. And I think she also, now that she's about to be 12, she's also witnessing the relationship between me and my mom. So she kind of has an idea, these kids aren't stupid. So,
So if I could build on that, what is the relationship between your mom and your granddaughter?
And her granddaughter.
Oh, her granddaughter. Sorry. Thank you.
Sidebar.
Don't do me like that.
Sidebar. I don't know if the eye contact But I'm about to cry. Don't. It's kind of heavy, no? You guys aren't emotional.
You guys are emotional.
I am, but I'm a Taurus, so I keep going. You know what I'm saying?
She's like, I gotta keep
Tim
it
and Joe
gangster.
love to cry.
It's so crazy.
I was like,
It's so crazy that you say that though, because so when I had London, she was literally born in my mom's hands. You know what I'm saying? So, like, my mom was the first person to hold her. My baby father couldn't even be in the room. My mother was like, no, like real Jamaican, like, you know what I'm saying? So they have that connection. Like, even sometimes, like, I feel like it makes it hard for me to parent because my mother is just, she feels like that's her child.
Yeah.
She does so
Is she an overstepper?
And I'm so grateful for my mother. I've never had to put my child in daycare. If I want to go on a trip, my mom is down to watch her. Like, they have a close connection.
My mom too.
But I also noticed some of the things that me and my sisters went through with my mom is trickling down to my daughter. And that's why I'm having such a big issue with it because
Can you give an example if you don't mind?
let me think.
Like as far as with her grandmother and her? Or with you and...
No, with my daughter and my mom.
Gotcha.
So the granddaughter, grandma dynamic.
Right.
It could be something simple. It could just be, she'll want my daughter to do something. And my daughter is very, very vocal. She'll like, if you tell her to do something, she'll be like, but why?
Oh, that's all like
My Jamaican mother, growing up, there's no but
These
why.
Gen Z kids are terrible.
It's but do it.
It's if me tell you if I do something, I have to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. You gotta stay in a child's place. And I just be watching it play out. And I'm just like, no, this generation of kids, they want an explanation.
Yeah.
They want to know why they have to do this. Or they have to feel like their feelings are being validated. Because my daughter is very much, oh, that's not fair type of kid. You know what I'm saying? So...
Yeah.
how does that work for you with your daughter? Like I'm sure if you tell her like, oh, I need you to, and she's being vocal and wanting an explanation.
And it's crazy because when I was young, I was like, I'm never gonna be like my mom. Like every time I get mad, I'm never gonna be like her. And I somehow turned into her, and that's why it's so hurtful sometimes because I'm like, I don't even want to be like that.
Yeah.
I want to come out of that cultural dynamic and just that whole thought process.
But sometimes I don't want to hear why. Like, just clean the bathroom, please.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but it's deeper than cleaning the bathroom.
No, I know,
Sometimes it's, I have to explain to her why she can't go sleep over at her friend's house.
Oh, gotcha.
Or why she can't go here and there after school. Or why she needs to let me know where she is. And, it gets deeper, but.
Okay, so obviously hearing those questions, in my heart right now, I'm like, because I said so.
Yep.
Because I said that. Like, that's all I'm hearing. I know that's like not the way to approach it. But it's like, again, we are, a manifestation of our parents.
Right.
To many degrees. So I totally understand how you can fall into that. But being able to fall into that, but also acknowledge that it's happening.
Yeah.
What is ways that you address that where you can actually, be fair to your daughter, but also be stern enough to say, I'm the parent, but, give her reasons where maybe she doesn't feel like she has to ask in the future. Is that something that?
I mean, it isn't. It's not that deep now because she, like I said, she's just now about to turn 12. So there's not too much.
I mean,
room.
I don't even know what 12 means with the Gen Z.
I don't know, 12.
Because 12
There's
is
not
like
too
20.
much room. You know what I'm saying? But like, for instance, when I was growing up, I couldn't hang out with my friends after school or whatever. But I try to be a good mom, and she was like, for instance, a couple weeks ago she went to go shaves with her friends. Okay, cool. Who's going? I'll pick them up. I'll contact their parents, let them know, the whole nine. Back in my day, couldn't do that. I had to come straight home. But I try to give her a little bit of leeway because I want her to be her own person. I want her to feel like, she's seen, she heard, she could do other things outside of just chores and staying in the house. You know what I mean? Like,
right, like you're not a slave,
right,
girl.
you're not a
outside.
prisoner.
yeah, like, you know what I mean? Back home, no, we couldn't go nowhere. Stay in your yard. So.
What about you? Well, you have a boy, so I guess
Yeah, she has a boy.
I don't have a daughter. He's
Well, you talk about
Well, how is that? Is there how's no?
I think it has a smart ass mouth.
Ooh, where'd he get that from?
He might know a person.
Yeah.
But like, it's like so crazy. Like, I'll hear him talking to somebody. Like, his dad told me the other day he was talking to his mother on the phone. He was just like,
so his grandmother,
right? So he thinks like, when you have a baby, you're supposed to be married. So he goes, "Who is you married to?" And his father's like, don't ask that. And he's like, no, but who was she married to?
He's asking qualifying questions. I don't know.
Yo, kids
Gen
be
Z's
so.
and these outfits, I'm telling you,
Nah,
they're
but
so
they
smart.
be so smart. And like asking, like
That's because
yo,
y'all be leaving them damn iPads in their hand all day.
That's why he don't got it this weekend. So,
Listen,
no, honey.
you
What
gotta
they be
you
looking
gotta
up?
let them
Okay.
ask the questions.
But that's a valid question.
It's
Who
a
was she married
valid-
to? But that was crazy, though.
But
It was
honestly,
valid, but it was crazy.
most of their questions, no matter how outlandish or like what seems like to us like common sense,
Yeah.
they make sense.
They do.
Yo, pick that
Because
up.
their little minds, like you're telling them
Why?
something.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's not making sense, though. You just told me that I need to wait for marriage to have a baby with somebody.
Yeah.
This girl's not married. Like,
No, I think parents do create a lot of those dynamics where it's like they ask you uncomfortable questions, so you make up this. Oh, you can't have sex until you're 32.
Yeah, right.
And then it's like now you got to answer for that.
Right. That's
You
right.
can't put this in their head.
That's
Right.
right. That's
So
right.
y'all do that to yourselves.
no.
In a sense.
Nigga said, nah, I've been fucking my whole life.
Right.
Damn.
He's like, I'm almost 32. 32 in dog years.
Yeah.
So, but to get back on, so to address this, right, where you're like, I don't really know how to have these conversations. So, obviously, again, not mother-daughter, but me and my mom didn't have a great relationship growing up. It was very tough. As an adult, I kind of, and after my grandmother passed away, I kind of forced us to have a good relationship. And I'll give you an example. So, my mother wanted to be tech savvy so bad. Like, she wanted to be.
Yeah.
Like, in her mind, when she had an email address, that email address accessed everything. So she's like, why can't I log into Facebook? Ma, you never created a Facebook. Right. But I got my email. That shit is not a master key.
Yeah.
You gotta use that to register.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't process that.
Right.
Right.
So I remember one time me and my girl, we went to her house. Now, usually, just because of how me and my mom's relationship was, I come to her house and she just had a bad attitude that day. Like, it was really with my uncle, but it kind of spread.
Yep.
Usually I'll be like, you know what, mom, I'll come back, I'll do it, whatever. This version of me is like, nah, we gonna handle this right now because you're gonna call me a week and a half from now asking me to do the same shit, and I'm not coming. I'm already here.
Facts.
I feel like sometimes you kind of have to put your foot down because what we fail to realize sometimes is that at some point the roles are going to be reversed. You're
Right.
going to be
The ones
the
taking care of
adult
them.
and they're going to be the kids in a
Yeah.
sense because you're going to be taking care of them. And like, you just got to really just take that into stride. Like, you got to take that. So it was so funny, right? So my mom smoked cigarettes. So her ash was going down mad long.
I thought you said her ass. I'm like,
Ash. So the ash of the cigarette's going. So I said, "Ma, ash your cigarette." She looked me dead in my eyes. Now the ashtray's right next to her. She ashes that shit on the floor. I don't know what the point of that was. I guess that was her way of rebelling.
yeah.
Like, don't tell me what to do. Of course, I cleaned it up, but it's just like, why did you do that? So,
Just being an
I know,
asshole.
you know what I'm
He
saying?
said-
Like, I know you're gonna be in these
Yeah.
situations where, like, it's just gonna be super uncomfortable. But you, like he said, like Vonnie said earlier, you just gotta figure out a way to get through that if you really want it. And I will say, like, just dealing with my mom in that way before she passed, like, we had the best relationship, which I'm grateful for. Like, we had a good relationship before she passed, but I feel like she wasn't, I wouldn't say she wasn't willing to do the work. I'm comfortable enough to say I don't think she even knew there was work to be done.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you may be in that same space.
Yeah.
Sometimes-
I don't think she realizes it.
Most times they don't.
Yeah, they don't see anything wrong with
Yeah.
how they say things, how they do it, how they come off. And it's not even, most times it's not even what you're saying to me, it's how you say it.
And usually their reference point is how they were raised. So I used to get beat with the switch.
Right.
I used to have to go out there, get a stick
Take your
off the
own
tree,
switch.
and
You
then
was
bring
born in
it.
the North?
Who?
You was born in...
Yeah, no, I'm talking about my mom.
Your mom's from the South?
No, but
Where'd she get that
my grandparents
Oh, okay.
are.
So she was getting her ass beat with us.
Yeah, so my grandfather is from Brunswick, Georgia, and my grandmother is
because
from Alabama.
somebody from the South.
Yeah,
That's some Southern
no,
shit.
yeah. So like, yeah, they used to have to go and get a switch off the tree and come back with it. So for us, it's like, yo, like you didn't. She's like, yo, I was getting I got the scars to prove it.
Right.
You're fine.
So you're getting off easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes they compare.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, you can't compare your abuse to
Right.
my abuse.
Right.
It's
Because
abuse.
You shouldn't have been abused in the first place.
Yeah, you know
Do
what I
you
mean?
get that part?
Right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the hardest part. Again, is getting them to understand that they might have been wronged as well,
Yeah.
and to see it that way. Not And granted, honor your parents, love your parents, but like know what they might have did was wrong.
That's a good one though.
Yeah,
like making them aware of what they went through was not normal either. Like,
that was my way of getting through to my mom, because I was like, I'm telling her like, yo, mom, we, you know, like I compartmentalized. We had that conversation where something can be happening, and I just like, yo, it is what it is. Like, and I'll move on to the next thing without actually figuring it out.
Yeah,
where it was like, I'm like, mom, you used to like go through stuff, you know, domestic situations, and go to work, send us to school. That was still fresh on our brains at school, trying to learn what 1 + 1 is. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, mom, that messed us up. And I can almost guarantee that it messed you up.
Almost.
No, I'm saying, right? Because but she's been, my dad died when I was 1. So she's been so like,
strong.
So she don't even, she be like, what happened? All right.
But I think sometimes we confuse strength for numb.
Yes, that's yes, exactly.
Yeah,
1000%.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times we don't realize, like, in order to have those conversations with your parents, you're making them feel, and they don't want to do that because they have to come back to all those things that, you know,
you can see it too.
Yeah, of course.
You can see it.
Because not only they have to feel, they have to acknowledge that no matter how good I did, there was bad there. There was bad in between. And I have to address both sides of that.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do I do that when I've blocked so much of it out? And now you're like making me relive this in a way that, you know, obviously it's healthy for the overall, but it's like in that moment, that's tough.
Yeah.
So I can, again, trying to play devil's advocate and be fair to both sides.
Right.
I can get that. But
Facts.
again, you said you do therapy. Is that something that you ever decided that you would want to do with your mom? Or do you think that your relationship's good enough where you don't need it? Because I feel like maybe, you know, as good as where it's at, it could get better.
No, definitely.
Family therapy is.
I just feel like I believe that with therapy, I feel like it's best to go first for yourself, and then you can add other people to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I feel like I have so much work to do for myself that I haven't even thought about bringing her along. That's just way too much for me right now.
That's so healthy to know that you have to do the self-healing first before you can kind of bring anybody along for that journey. So,
Do either of you feel like your parent would be open to doing therapy for themselves?
Absolutely not. If you can't even talk to me, I know you ain't. You're not gonna go see the lady.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I mean?
No, that's true.
Because even in their day, like therapy was like,
you know what's crazy?
Like
I don't want to
therapy.
cut you off.
Yeah.
That you mentioned, like, you know, what our parents see, or, you know, go to therapy. It's crazy because I was venting to one of my friends recently about the dynamic between my mother. She doesn't talk to me, but she'll pick up the phone every day and talk to my sister. And I'm just like, is this like some sibling favoritism? Like, you know what I mean? Or if anything's going on between me and her, she picks up the phone, she calls Valerie, talks to her, tells her all my business. It's crazy.
What's the difference between you and your sister as far as, do you go to your sister as well?
No, not that sister. So let me give you guys a quick rundown. So I had another sister that passed away in 2021 from breast cancer. And
condolences.
Thank you. So when you said the whole part about being numb and making them feel, when me and my mom got into an argument about like a month and a half ago, I brought up the whole thing about, and this, I know this like really made her feel, I said, did you forget that I was going to go see my sister in hospice because you couldn't be able to see her? I had to watch her transcend. So making her like point out all those things and everything that was her responsibility, because I'm the youngest of 6 kids and I had to pick up the slack. So me mentioning that triggered her and the argument just escalated even more. So
that hurt me.
A lot of times when you point out those things, they don't want to hear it, but there's a lot of parents that put a lot on their kids.
Not only do they not, I don't think it's not wanting to hear it, no more than I don't know how to receive that, because again, they weren't in that position. So to hear that they put their child in that position must be like, like,
and it's not even coming from a malicious place. Like, oh, I didn't want to be there for my sister, but it's just like, don't forget what I did. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to. You're her mom, but I still did it. You know what I mean? So it wasn't to like spite her or anything, but it was just,
no. But nonetheless, that's not just your truth, but the truth.
Facts.
And to acknowledge that.
That's so hard.
So the sister that passed away is the one that I had a closer relationship with. She was like my best friend.
Yeah.
So that's why it's even more hurtful for her to not be here. And then when something between me and my mom happens, she calls my other sister, who I don't have that close relationship with, and tells her everything. And it's like,
Is she the oldest?
and that sister lives in Florida. It's like, girl, what? Like, I'm here, and I do a lot for my mom. Like I do everything because I'm the only child in Boston.
Right.
So I do everything. So when you need your medication, you need a ride to the appointment, you need this, that done. It's me.
It's on you, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's tough. It gets tough. That mother dynamic.
You know what I
crazy.
realized is sometimes the child that the parent can rely on the most, they almost care for the least because they know that they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, in their head.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm a middle child, so I don't know if that plays any part, but like with my mom, it's kind of the same, where it's like, I feel like she talks to me, but like, I feel like when it comes down to like the nitty gritty, like she'll look out for my little sister, my older brother, and she'll definitely look out for me. But the extent to which I think she's willing to go is different because she knows that I'm going to make it happen no matter what.
Yeah.
So I often, like growing up, felt kind of like, yo, mom, I'm here too. You know what I'm saying?
Self-sufficiency goes wrong.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. It's almost like don't show them what you can do, because then it's like, you know what I mean?
No, that went wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to be okay. I said, I was not okay.
okay.
Yeah. No, I was
Come get
hurting.
me.
I was clinging on by a thread.
Right.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
but thank you, though.
I wish you would have seen that.
Right.
But no, I feel that like, so I was raised by my grandmother, and she raised two of my other cousins as well.
Yep.
And I swear to God, I'm like, this woman do not fuck with me. Like, the way she treat me is no way she like me. But growing up, like, like I said, I kind of, like, when I first saw my grandmother, I didn't, like, I'm not religious. Sorry, guys.
So
She was like, oh my, like bawling. But, it built our relationship because I was honest with her.
Right.
But one thing she told me was like, exactly what you said, but she verbalized it. She's like, I feel like I kind of failed my other two because I was too, like, too kind, right? So I had to be hard on you because I needed you to be strong. Yeah. I'm like, you had to be that hard.
Yeah, it's like, I get it.
Like, I like love and hugs and shit too.
Yeah. a little affection go a long
now.
way.
Give me a little hug every now and again. But my grandmother was one of those people, like, she didn't like people kissing her. She'd be like, yeah, that's how Judas was portrayed. Like,
Wait, what?
relax.
Wait a minute.
Nah, she went all the way. Chill
Right.
Chill out.
That's
girl.
crazy.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
but but that's just, she had a tough life.
Yeah.
And again, it took, like, even my mom, like, it took me kind of like trying to understand where they were to just bring some type of fairness and not feel like it's all woe is me. Whereas, like, okay, I can get where you're coming from.
For sure.
You're like a product of the 80s drug epidemic.
Crack baby.
You know what I mean? I'm a crack baby. I don't care about saying I was born drug addicted. My mother used drugs, but she was a product of that, right? Where she fell into that. And, I didn't think of that growing up. I just wanted to go to the movies because my aunt was going to the movies with her kids. I wanted to go to the mall, get new sneakers because they was getting new sneakers. And I received that kind of love from my aunt, which created like a lot of jealousy between them because she was like, you trying to steal my kid away. I'm like, then steal me back.
Yeah.
Said,
That's
help
tough.
me, please.
Steal me back.
Right.
You can do all this shit for me too. But, that's just kind of how it played out. So I get it, like, from both sides. I will ask this question. Do you feel like there's a jealousy on either side? Like, do you have a jealousy towards your mom, or do you think your mom may have a jealousy towards you, or enviness?
I don't think so. Not me, not personally.
Yeah.
No, I personally, no, not for me. My mother is very much like, you can do anything you put your mind to. Like, all right, you got it. Help me out. But I've definitely seen, scenarios with friends,
Right, and that's
where,
what I asked you that.
Yeah.
Where their
jealous.
mothers are clear. Like, I can see it. Like, I'm watching that dynamic play by play, and I'm just like, yeah, she don't fuck with you. Okay, she don't like you, and she think like her calling you a bitch or a whore, like, that's extreme. Like,
Absolutely.
she's jealous of you because what? I don't know, because she didn't live her fucking life. It's weird, but again, I don't really know why that dynamic is. It just happens so much, especially like, I feel like
you think
you
it kind
have
of falls out of the mother-daughter dynamic and it just becomes a woman-on-woman thing?
Yeah, I think it just becomes personal where they just didn't take the time to heal individually. And then you have kids and it just spirals out of control. That's with anything, honestly.
I think that it depends on the situation. I feel like with one instance that comes to mind, the girl that I know, she's very beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Very beautiful, great body, stuff like that. Like, she gets attention. Her mother cannot stand the attention that she gets.
Is her mother someone that's still looking for that type of attention?
At her
Like,
age.
just from your experience alone.
I don't.
Because there are some mothers
I
like that.
don't-
Let's
No,
talk about that.
Right.
No, it's a fact.
He's like,
Yeah.
why are we
It's a
clubbing
fact.
together?
Yeah.
Why are we the same
There's some
club?
mothers
Right.
that'll steal your man right up from under your nose.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's crazy though.
Yeah.
That's crazy though.
they're toxic.
I couldn't imagine seeing your mother with your man in the bed.
It happens though, for real.
I would throw up on the bed. Like, I wouldn't even know what to do. I wouldn't know what to do. That's
Hey.
crazy.
Mom going to town too.
Doing the gawk? No
Oh.
way. What? No.
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with that. Like, even like thinking, like, when I was younger, like, my mom was a young mom. So, like, when she used to come to school, like, I used to hate when she used to come to school. They'd be like, your mother is so fucking sexy. Like, sexy is crazy. Sexy is crazy. And I'm like, I was awkward in middle school. Like, I was awkward looking. Like, my mother used to always tell me, like, if your nose doesn't go into your face, we're going to get some plastic surgery. We'll talk about that another time.
What?
No. This time.
This time.
No, we're talking about this time.
You can't just bring that up and say next time.
I'm so sorry.
No. I mean, thankfully I did. But no, I used to like really hate like when she used to come to school because I'm just like, Mom, if you don't stop coming to school, like, I'm gonna fight you. Like, this is crazy. This is my playground. Your playground's outside. Like, let them talk to you out there. But yeah.
There are some women who just never lived their life
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Oh, my mother lived
Sometimes
a
they blame the child,
Exactly.
which is what leads to the jealousy or just the resentment. And now it's like you're gonna have to deal with when I say pick it up off the floor. Don't ask me no questions.
Right.
Dishes need to be done by this time because I had you.
real Cinderella shit.
And yeah, right, yeah. Cinderella title.
Do you guys ever have any issues where like you guys have an issue with your mom because of the relationship with your dad? Like there's a favoritism with your dad, so your mom feels away. Is that ever?
Oh, my daddy didn't like me, so nope.
I think that
Bro, where's the tissue,
that
bro?
happens more like when I'm like I feel like it happened like so my sister, it happens with her a lot because she's a product of divorced parents right now. Like they're going through a divorce and
And how old is your sister?
how old am I? She's 25.
Okay.
They're triplets. But yeah, she goes through that a lot. Like just like you're hanging out with him and you're not hanging out with me. What the hell is going on over there?
So she feels like she's picking sides.
Right. But it's not like picking sides because she's over there because I'm over there.
Right.
We don't even see him half the time. But, you know, it's just like the look of it. It's just like, okay, but you're there. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not here with me.
It's all perception.
Right. So
That's a lot
I don't
of
think you
pressure.
hit that button once.
there's a lot going on.
I hit the button in the beginning, and
Right.
since I'm like, I don't even know what button to hit. Do I clap?
Crying emoji.
Do I do a gunshot?
Not clap,
Oh my
please.
gosh!
But to answer your question, I don't think I ever had that issue. So, like I mentioned earlier, I came to this country when I was 4. So, I lived with my dad and my mom and his daughter from, whoever she was born of.
No way.
Lord.
I'm telling you, the dynamic was very crazy. Like when I came to this country,
Yeah.
my sister from my dad's side lived there too, and she thought we couldn't even sit in the living room because we were the immigrants. Like there was 2 fridges.
What?
We had our fridge, she had her fridge. Like my childhood was weird. Like
Nah, that's not weird. That's awful.
That's okay.
It's-
So
yeah,
she
I
was
swear to
jealous
God.
of y'all?
well, she thought I was jealous of her child because her child was half
Wait, so
Chinese.
who implemented this separation or segregation?
I just came to this country and that's how it was set up. So she was expecting us to
Oh,
come.
so she
So
set this
she
up
set
with the
that up.
expectation. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it was me, my mom, and my late sister that passed away that came to this country. And that was the dynamic. We lived right over there by Ashmont on Bailey Street. And
Okay.
How long did it take you to realize that wasn't even a dynamic and not the norm?
I probably didn't realize it till like years after because I was a kid. Like, I was just like, whatever, it didn't bother me.
Yeah,
As,
Right,
rules are
long,
rules.
as long as I got somewhere to stay in this country, you know what I'm saying? And then as far as my dad goes, he very much allowed it. It was fine with him. My dad didn't talk to me. So like he would pick me up from school, or no, he would pick me up from the YMCA because I had to go to the YMCA till my mom got off work, and we would just be walking home. No, hey, how was your day? Or no, hi, no, nothing. Just walking down the street in silence. Didn't talk to me. So I lived with this man in no relationship.
I was about to say something, but that was it would have been ignorant.
So when my parents did get divorced, finally, by the time I was like 7, my mom was still trying to force me to call him and talk to him. I'm like, wait. I was just in his face.
Can we rewind this a minute? So you came here at 4.
Yep.
Your mom was still married to your dad who was with another woman?
No, his daughter from his previous relationship lived there. Yeah.
Got you. Because I was about to be like, what the fuck did I just hear?
No. No,
but yeah, that's and it's crazy because again, you live in this space where, like you said, I didn't even notice it until years later. But it was segregation. You lived in a segregated household.
Did your dad talk to any of your siblings?
No. It was just me and my sister at
Maybe
that time.
He was like nonverbal or something.
No, my dad was very verbal because he had time to argue with my mom getting off work late and argue with her because she was going to ride home from a man. So he was very verbal. He just didn't talk to me.
One of those.
And then he would just stick me in a room and he would cook me the same thing every single day. I eat the same thing every day.
Well, what was it?
No.
What was it?
Selfish is good.
It was rice and corned beef every day,
God.
every single day of my life. If my mother didn't
I eat
cook,
that still.
That nigga was trying to give you high cholesterol.
But that's a struggle meal though.
Yeah, it's a struggle
I love
meal.
struggle meals.
Oh yeah.
But it's a good struggle meal.
Sweet.
Right.
Yeah, it is a good struggle meal, but every day is crazy.
Every day
It got
is
so
crazy.
bad to the point where like I was scared of him, or like I would roll up the food in toilet paper and flush it down the toilet. Like I got tired of eating the same thing every day.
Trust me, I was with you.
That's very traumatic.
I don't.
It's a lot.
The fact that your dad didn't talk to you. I know this is about mothers and daughters, but like, do you feel like that affects you at all today?
It did. I ended up getting in a bad car accident in 2010, and I almost died actually. And he never called. He never asked about me to see if I was alive. And the only reason I was alive was because I put my seatbelt on the last minute because my boyfriend at the time flew through the windshield and died. So it was very bad accident.
Oh my God.
So with that said,
Don't look at me like that.
Right.
with that said, no, it's okay, guys. I can talk about it now because, like, you know. But with that said, my dad ended up dying the following year, and I didn't go to his funeral because we didn't have that relationship.
Yeah, so I'm gonna after this, right? I'm gonna give you my therapist number.
Dead ass, because that's a lot. You handle it really well, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, no, everything's fine. Okay, so you're numbing like everybody
Yes,
else.
I'm numb, just like my mother.
But when you talk, and I don't want to like make
That's why she's so funny.
make you feel uncomfortable, but like
Yeah, you gotta laugh to keep from crying.
But I can,
seriously.
but I can feel almost the pain.
It's in her eyes.
Is that what it
in
is?
my
'Cause-
eyes, you can see past my eyes.
Yo, I can because I'm like, yeah, no.
In your eyes. I don't know what it is, but something like
I gotta get bigger ones for next time.
Something about
that
you.
will
You
be
can
the
see,
next time.
you can
Because
see pain in your
for
eyes,
sure.
but like you smile so much.
You're not the first person to tell me that.
Yeah. Like you can see it, but you like
but
hold it well.
even your voice, like when you're speaking, it's almost like it's trying to be like, yo, help.
Help is crazy.
And no, but like seriously, like which is like Walk said, you're handling it really well outwardly, of course.
Yeah, but that's not always a good thing.
Yeah,
It's not. I cry in the shower sometimes. Like, I'm very human. I don't want you guys to think I
can tell that you cry.
we know. Because we about to cry for you.
Yeah, I'm over here like I'm like this.
He
like,
said, yeah, like my boyfriend
When he
went
flew
to
out the window,
windshield,
then
like,
my dad died.
To wrap that story up, my dad ended up
Because that was
dying
going to be my next question. Is
in
there something that you
2011.
to fix, but sheesh.
Did he die like abruptly or was he sick?
He just he was sick actually. He had pneumonia, and he ended up dying from what I heard. And I didn't go to the funeral. And at first I didn't feel bad, but then I started to feel bad. But then I was just like, it would have felt weird being at his funeral because
You didn't
I
have
had no relationship with this man, and he didn't talk to me. So it was just like
Right.
I didn't know how to process that at the time. So
Wow.
where do we go from here?
My heart is hurting. I don't know.
Straight to the tissue.
Yeah, like, that's
Kleenex.
Because I want to hear about this. Like, how old you and your half
With Valerie in Florida.
No.
You said your dad
had a daughter.
Oh, so it's crazy. So we ended up moving. You guys know where Morningstar Baptist Church is?
Yep.
Me and my mom ended up moving to Wilson Street over there. Mm-hmm. And his daughter lived 2 houses away from us. Mm-hmm. And there's no relationship with her.
That's so
you can't treat people like that when you come to this country and think like,
okay,
I mean, rightfully,
I'm gonna be sitting in your living room and knocking on your door. Like, there was no
Mm-hmm.
relationship there. Like, she just thought she was better than us because, we come to this country.
Really
We didn't know a lot. My mom didn't know a lot. We're trying to navigate and learn things and how the system works.
How much older than you is she?
She's like a grown woman. Mm-hmm. And to put it out there, I'm the youngest of 18 kids on my dad's side.
I was gonna ask that too.
They're grown.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
18.
On my dad's side, yeah. He had like 18.
Oh, honey.
I'm the youngest for both my parents.
So she's like well into her.
She was a grown woman when I got to this country.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Got
Okay,
it.
so she was like, I ain't, okay. So
Okay.
She just wasn't fucking with us.
that was intent.
Because I was thinking like if she was younger, it's like maybe
That's what I imagine too.
No, if she was young, I could understand because you would feel like we're invading your space or something.
Yeah.
No, she was a grown woman with her own child.
When you
y'all
got
came?
here,
When I got here, she did not fuck with me, my sister, or my mom. She didn't fuck with us.
Like, what did she think was going on?
She just felt like because my dad married my mom and not her mom type of thing. I think that's what it really was. I
but
think
as
it
an
was
adult,
that.
get over
Got
it.
you. Okay. Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
I mean, you already got your own kid now.
Yeah,
like
like,
your
but
focus
first
gotta
off,
be
leave.
this. Not
Right.
So why? I don't know. I don't get it. I would never.
And I was 4 at the time, so I'm just like, okay, like whatever.
bro. I got a headache.
Yeah, I'm really sorry to hear. I mean, I have more questions, so,
Right. So I think we can go on and on about this.
but not particularly about that. Let's kind of shift a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're obviously a mom,
Yes.
and I would wonder what would be the 3 biggest takeaways from the things that you've experienced that you're trying to make sure these things don't seep, as much as they probably will to some degree, but is the things that you're most conscious of that you don't want to kind of like, carry over into the relationship you have with your daughter?
I don't want her to lose her voice. Mm-hmm. I want her to be vocal. She's already a very vocal child, and I want her to stay that way. And I want her to be comfortable to come and talk to me because I didn't have that dynamic, obviously, with my mom. And I want her to trust me enough to speak to me about things that they don't even have to be things that bother her. Just simple day-to-day life things, questions, concerns. That's what I want. The other thing I don't want her to do is, I guess, her self-esteem, her confidence. I want her to be very confident and go through this life. I want her to be a leader. Mm-hmm. So yeah, those are the things that I really want her to be, because I feel like growing up, especially not coming from this country,
Right.
I know you ain't crying,
Bro. He is definitely crying. Bro.
He's gonna make me cry because I'm not even crying. Coming to this country and just trying to fit in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I want her to be a leader and just have her mind her own. I think it's very important.
No, I think it's good that you're self-aware of those things.
Uh-huh.
Right? One, I believe in her. I don't know her. I've never met her personally. But
She ill.
I know that if she has you behind her, that she'll be in good hands. Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, that's
Appreciate
good.
that.
I'm
Appreciate
gonna
it.
hit the applause for sure.
we got my man's over here tearing up.
Oh, I'm like, are you crying?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Because I'm usually not this open.
Yeah.
People
Bro,
people
what?
just like see me on Facebook and I'm very joking all the time.
Very
but
animated.
They never get this side of me. So
Yeah, I had no
don't.
question.
This the real you.
yeah, they really
and
don't know my
just-
story. I don't talk about it a lot.
And knowing that dynamic of just wanting to be better
Yeah.
for your kids than your parents were for you. And not to shit on our parents, but it's just, even the other day I asked Haley, I said, yo, how am I doing? And she's like, what? And I'm like, as a parent, as your father, how am I, like, is there something I can do better that makes you feel like I hear you more? Like, because I don't want to like, do the whole, like, cause I said so.
Right.
Until they're adults and now they're doing it to their kids and their kids don't have a voice and then their kids don't have a voice. And it's like, bro, so you saying like, I want her to have a voice. I want her to like keep using her voice. It's like, bro.
Yeah.
Because and it's easy for us to go, yo, stop, that's disrespectful, or like watch how you're talking to me. And sometimes as a parent you can be checked and your kids are the one to do it.
My daughter
because
texts me all the time.
they know you
know
more
you
than
better than
more than the facade you do outside the house. They have to deal with how you parent, how you discipline, how like everything, how you think. Like there were times my mom used to be like, you know, do this, do that, and I'm like, yo, you ain't even do this or do that.
My daughter does that to me all the time, and I'm telling her, well, I'm an adult, you're a child.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
That's
And it's funny when you use that. I don't even think that's a really good argument. It's like, as an adult, maybe you should be doing that. Maybe you should lead by example.
Well, no, and exactly right. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's why I asked, like, yo, how am I doing? Because I don't want to show you that it's okay to be irresponsible or that it's okay to not listen to other people's points of views. Like, and it's just my way or the highway. It's not.
Yeah.
You know
How
what I mean?
important do you think it is to check in and ask a question like that to your child? How am I doing? As a parent, how am I doing?
It's very humbling. I don't even think I do that enough. I'm glad you brought that up. I don't even think I do that enough. And it should be done more frequently. Because your kids will check you.
Because at
They're
the end
very
of the day,
honest people.
It is a job, and in any job that I worked, we had an assessment.
Right. We have
and
a
they're like,
review.
"This is
that
how you're
review.
doing."
That
And
review.
you think you're doing good. You think you're doing good and you are fucking up. Right.
Yes,
You need a
damn.
reminder. You're like, "Oh shit!"
I thought I was killing
did
it this
that?
month.
Right.
Right. And the other end of that is sometimes you'll get exactly what you need in that, like the positive review as well.
Yeah.
Because like Haley was like, no, you're doing great.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what can I change? She's like, nothing.
That's so validating for you, though.
Bro, I felt like,
Right. Considering your situation,
It's a relief.
Yeah.
It got to be a
I'm
relief.
sure that was just like
because there's no way of me knowing if I'm doing it right.
right.
Unless I ask them. I can't ask everybody else who's like, yo, you're doing a good job, bro. Good job. I'm proud of you.
And I think that's the most important thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's getting the
Because
validation from your
The
kids.
validation from your kids
Yeah.
because what our parents do is they validate it themselves. I was a great parent.
That's-
Says who?
Right.
And
I never told you that shit.
That's what we deal with today. We talk, yo, Ma, you used to.
Right.
No, I
Said my
didn't.
mom said I did a great job. Said your mom was crazy.
Yeah.
That's all we know. But all right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, but seriously, I think that, like to be able to like actually feel comfortable enough because you could have got an F.
No,
You don't know
that's
what
a
your
fact.
response is going to be.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
And I think I was looking for an F because I don't feel adequate a lot in a lot of different areas. So I'm always like,
Which I
"Man,
wish you
know
would
I
really work
suck."
on.
I know, me
Yeah.
too. Me too.
Oh, you're so multi-talented.
Yeah, because you do a lot of good.
Parents will have you feel like you are just fucking up.
Yo,
Because,
because like I so like Haley's playing basketball, right? And it's every Monday, but it's at 6:30 to like 8:30 or something like that. We live an hour from where she goes to school.
So you can't always show
So
up
I'm
for
like, I can't, and bro, like just seeing the disappointment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, bro, so I'm asking like, yo, like how am I know you're upset because a lot of what's going on and you can't do this, you can't
go
do
to any
that.
of her games?
She's only had 3.
Okay.
She's only had 3 and she didn't go, she went to one.
Oh,
Her
wait,
her
she's young.
grandmother brought her. Yeah. And then tomorrow was actually her last game. So it's like 3 games.
Yeah.
So I'll be there tomorrow though, for
Okay,
sure.
good.
Yeah. But I'm like, you know, like just I was expecting an F because I wanted to know how I could change, how I could be better, so that I know that I'm doing a good job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So fingers
But she
crossed.
was like,
don't
Dad,
don't let that get you down though, because for instance, my daughter's dad lives in Texas, so I put a lot of pressure on myself to be there when she's not doing sports this year, but when she was doing track, when she was doing the girls basketball, I put a lot of pressure on myself to be there. But also, you could show for every game and still be failing the other areas.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I feel like me and my daughter's communication, I feel like I'm failing sometimes. Most days, actually, because she has my attitude. So don't beat yourself up.
No,
and
for
I
sure.
feel like that'll fluctuate as they get older. You're going to have to find other areas to be greater in. So don't let that get you down. As long as you keep that open line of communication,
Right.
you'll be fine. They'll let you know. They're honest.
Oh no, it's a fact. That's a fact.
Man, we've done many episodes, of
Right,
this
and every
podcast,
time.
and
I did not want to be the Debbie Downer.
no, you're not a Debbie Downer. This
I
is
feel like
going,
you're the entertainment.
this
No,
is going
yeah,
to be
and-
the
yeah.
man. First off, I'm
Yeah.
gonna let y'all know right now. I'm happy as hell. I get to edit this podcast by
Yeah.
myself.
It was actually, I
'Cause
feel
I'ma
really
be
good
like-
about this one. That was crazy though. She said a lot.
I'm over here like
Like,
yo.
You know what question we were supposed to touch on was
Please do.
Yeah, please.
So the whole mother-daughter dynamic, right? And just not healing as an individual, how men choose women.
Oh, yes.
yeah.
First
based
off,
on the relationship that they have
I'm
with
so
their
glad
mom.
that you re-brought that
Yep.
up. So, yes, we had a short discussion about it. How important, and if the audience wants to kind of jump in on this, based on the relationship that a woman has with their mother, is that something that you acknowledge before you create a relationship with them?
Yes. I mean, I would say that. Damn, how do you say this without sounding like a complete a-hole?
Just go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
So,
Don't be politically correct or nothing.
no, because really there's no real political correctness with this. It's just as far as a somber view, because like how we love is based on the love that our mother gives us.
Right.
So it's a very. But then if she said something to me in the past that it kind of goes to this, but as far as that, when I see how you love and respect your moms and vice versa on both ends, it's okay. Women take it as that okay. The way that he loves on his mom is the way he's gonna love on me. And how you guys, your dynamic with your mom, respect level is how you're gonna love on me also.
Right.
Because if she's gonna teach you A, B, C, X, Y, Z, how you
Right.
Right.
how you gonna do that for me?
That
Agreed.
nurturing factor, yeah.
Yeah, on top of the affection, your mother being affectionate with, or the mother being affectionate with the daughter, or not, is she gonna be able to, show affection in a relationship to where now it's like, yo, like how is you and your mom's relationship? Y'all ain't talking like that, or y'all don't really have, like you don't see eye to eye, you guys don't hug. It's not like a warm embrace.
So you guys
Then what's
think
gonna
about
happen when I do?
I interpret it
Yeah.
more from a procreation space.
Okay.
If you don't have a good relationship with your mom, what kind of relationship are you going to grow with your child? Whether it be,
That's what- yeah.
So I look at it from that aspect because, again, we've all experienced a trickle down that we then push onto our child.
Correct.
And it's like, if the relationship's healthy, you would imagine that you would also spread that healthy relationship. But if it's not healthy, all of a sudden you're precious. And I don't want to be.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with a mother that's precious
get
and
it.
she's, and it's funny. You asked that question. Do y'all think about that? Do you think that we're that shallow as men
Yes.
that we don't think of that?
Yes.
What is?
No, I
what-
think you guys do think about that. I think it's a factor.
How do I put this?
No, you could be an a-hole too. You told him to be an a-hole. You could be an a-hole.
I think that like whenever it comes to the dynamic of like the mother-daughter, like for a woman, like as far as like what I've been told, like, is what like they kind of look at. Like, and we talked about this before, is, how your mother looks. And it's just like,
That's all we care about.
The
it
physicality.
seems like it. Like,
It's like if your mother's beautiful, you're
right, you're gonna
beautiful
be
too.
gorgeous. And I need this.
I don't like the fact that we're looked at as so shallow. Like we.
But y'all do
Sometimes
do
y'all
it though.
all be shallow.
I'm not saying
We
we
are
don't, but I'm saying it's
multifaceted.
more
More to
multifaceted
it,
than that.
yeah.
Is that the word you just used? Multifaceted?
Multifaceted.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, because you could be a bomb-looking woman and suck
Yeah.
in all areas as a partner.
I've
Like,
experienced that
all
too.
across the board.
Yeah.
I've experienced that too. And I think in my experience, I don't want to just, paint a broad picture. In my experience, I feel like the more beautiful you are in this day and age, it's kind of used as it's being weaponized by women
Yeah.
more than anything. Whereas
Like, that's
I don't
it to
even
it.
I don't even have to value myself because the outside source is going to value me because I'm so beautiful. And it's like that shit is so temporary. It's like what else?
Yeah.
And I know people hate when they hear the word what else do you bring to the table? But it's like I
It's
think it's a
true.
valid question. And not what do you bring to the table for me, but what do you bring to your table for yourself when all those things run out for you?
Yeah.
People think
Because
bringing,
now you're not
yeah.
self-sufficient.
People think bringing something to the table is just materialistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's your attitude, it's your
Yeah.
character. Are you receptive? Are you nurturing? Are you loving? Are you patient?
I don't feel like people realize, and I'll use this very broadly. You got to build credit in this life, and I don't mean credit like FICO scores and stuff.
I mean,
when
but it
you're
is.
down
That's so
low,
good. My joint.
hey, can I stay with you?
Yeah.
Hey, I need help.
Yeah.
You got to build that credit score of people,
Yeah.
and if you don't have that because you've been a shitball your whole life, and you burnt more
Okay.
bridges than you've ever built,
man.
you're gonna live in this space where it's like you are not valuable to the world.
That's true.
That boy talking.
Yep.
Okay, you spit a little bar. Yeah.
Not to get off topic, but I kind of want to ask this since like I was
are you comfortable like telling your therapist the truth? Because like when it comes to me, like I feel like I always want to see a therapist, but I feel like who knows me better than myself? Like I know myself better than anybody. I wouldn't lie to myself, but I feel like if I did see a therapist, I'll be like telling certain shit and leave certain shit out.
You'd be holding
That's an
back.
awesome question.
So
That's a great question.
Depends on therapist.
it depends. No, it depends on the therapist one,
Yeah, go
but
ahead.
it also depends on. There's certain things that she's allowed me not to speak on. I'm not comfortable with talking to her about it. I don't know her like that. Okay, that's just me. I mean, I know her, but I don't know her like that.
Yeah.
Do I hope that I get comfortable enough to share it with her? Yes. I think that it's easier. It's easier for me to complain to my therapist because I don't like to complain to my friends like too much because I feel like it's a little overwhelming. You know what I mean? So it's definitely easy to open up about certain things, but other stuff is tough. The stuff that's hard, like, you know what I'm saying? Like traumatic.
Yeah.
But the stuff that's like, you know, like I have a problem with this, like I feel like I can't get out of bed, blah, 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 like stuff like that. Like that's stuff that I struggle with. I'm okay with conversing with her about. The traumatic stuff,
Not so much.
I'm not there yet. So I can't really speak to that. I mean, again, Dell's not here. But Dell, you know, he goes to therapy as well. Well, he did go to therapy, and he has created a relationship with his therapist, which really inspired me to go back to therapy, where he's able to be open and honest with his therapist about what's going on, and it really helped his development. So I recommend it for everybody.
I'll say this, and as someone who doesn't go to therapy but wants to, let's say you're not feeling well, you have a sore throat, and you go to the hospital, right? Pardon me. And your leg is also falling off, but you really just want to address the sore throat because it's like, yo, you know what I mean? I don't want to talk about this. I want to talk about this. Then I guess it depends on how much healing are you encouraging for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't address it, then it won't be addressed. You see what I'm saying? So like at the end of the day, I think if you want full healing, and I think that you're doing it the right way too, like going
Baby
into
steps.
it where you're comfortable, and I'm sure it's still uncomfortable at certain times, but you know, more and more just easing into the traumatic discussions. But if you want that, you know, the help in whatever aspect it is, I think full honesty is probably the best way to go. Because you won't even get, you know, the leg looked at if you just focus on something else. You know what I mean? So definitely be open and transparent.
But what I want to add to that, right? Because I was talking to someone the other day, a black man, and he was talking about like he didn't really want to go to therapy because he didn't want to explain the things that he has done to a therapist. Like they're not going to understand what he's been through as a black man, which I understand because there's some things that you shouldn't tell anybody. Take that to the grave. I don't know what you did, but you know what? You talk to God about that. And I get that. So that I can't really
It's a thin line.
Yeah, it's a thin line. But I feel like talk as much as you can.
Especially with black men.
Yeah.
It's a very thin line on what they can say.
Yeah.
That won't be used against them.
Yeah.
Does that change if you have a black therapist?
I will speak to that. So I went to therapy twice. When my mom died, absolutely needed therapy. And I don't think it. I really can't speak to the fact of it if it helped that the person was black or not. I think that's something that we mentally we mentally create in our own heads when we're trying to get help. But again, to your point, I didn't go to therapy until I was at my worst. So I kind of had to address my worst in order to get better. Like it wouldn't work for me to take baby steps. I kind of had to
just go.
I had to address the big things first because those are the things that got me here. Obviously that's probably not the same situation for everyone. I started talking about the little things later, like, yeah, my dog barks every time I come in the house and it's fucking annoying. But, you know, I had to address the fact that I had just got a great relationship with my mom, and then I watched her take her last breath in hospice as well. I see, so it was very tough. Like I see it all the time. Like I see her like take her last breath, and it's weird because it doesn't necessarily make me sad, but it's like this ever recurring thing.
Yeah.
Whenever I
It's
think of her,
imprinted, yeah.
it's like as much as all the good things I think of about her, that thing is like the thing that's there.
Yeah.
So I needed to kind of be able to process that in a way that didn't break me down every time that I thought about it. So it wasn't necessarily a color barrier for me. I will say that I did have the most success with my Black therapist. I do agree with you to some degree, but there is like when you're with a therapist, they can't speak about what, at least by law, but who knows?
Yeah.
But I'll compare this
I
to
think
like,
if you're trying to hurt somebody, then they have to.
but I'll compare it to like The Sopranos. That dude was telling everything to his therapist. I think that's the only way he was able to survive what he was doing is because he was able to share with his therapist.
Is that
Now,
real though?
Obviously, it's not real, but
No. I'm saying like, can you actually do that? I don't know.
by law
yes,
they can't
yes,
tell. Yeah,
it's all confidential.
It's all confidential.
It's patient, whatever.
So if you say,
confidentiality.
yeah, I killed somebody when I was 13.
that's between y'all in that room.
Yeah,
But if it's like I'm gonna hurt myself or somebody
then they're
else,
mandated.
then
they're by law
Gotcha.
they have to
require, and and you sign all that into it. But
So if you want to confess, you
to
got
answer your question,
I got you next time.
I feel exactly where you're coming from. Like, who knows me better than me? But knowing yourself, knowing yourself is not knowing how to heal. You're not giving yourselves the steps of healing. Right. You know what happened to you, but it's like, how do I get over this?
Right.
Yeah.
How do I not
You only
hold
know how
so
to
much
cope.
resentment?
Yeah.
How do you know
Exactly.
all of the bad things of
Right.
how to compartmentalize,
Yep.
you know how to envy, you know how to do it, but it's like, how
Survive.
do I
Yeah.
get over this trauma?
Yeah.
You gotta look at the bigger picture.
How do I become the bigger person in this scenario, even though I feel like I've been wronged, I've been hurt? Those are all the things that you have to kind of learn for yourself, or the therapist kind of assists you through. And it's not a speed round. Like, don't go in there thinking you're going to be healed in 3 weeks. It's not one of those type of things, because it's a constant healing, right? And the thing that about life is like, as much as you heal, you'll get more hurt. Then you'll have to heal from that hurt, and then the more hurt. Like, if you're living in this
Hopefully not the same hurt.
hopefully, right? But if you're living in this ideology where it's like, at some point I'm going to find happiness, and happiness is not happiness is a fleeting emotion, just like every other emotion. So if you think that it's like, my life is ill, like not good because I'm not happy, then you're not living a real life. Because you're not going to be happy every day. It's okay to wake up and say, damn, I don't want to do this today. Or damn, I'm having a bad day. That's literally the human experience.
This too shall pass.
Yeah, this too shall pass. And I think once you get to that point, things become a lot better. You know what I'm saying? And also manifestation, like gravity, manifestation. You always think bad shit's gonna come your way. You got to manifest better stuff in your life. So those will be my takeaways from that question. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, that was a great question.
You can just go so much deeper with that, but I
I was over here just
Right, so I have more to say, but
But if you do, by all means, we got time.
no, we don't.
We got 13 minutes.
No, we don't.
So, what I was going to say was, I think I was going to bring it back to the other pod that we were talking about, just Black men not being able to talk. You know what I'm saying? I feel like going to therapy is definitely helpful, because a lot of Black men feel like they don't have anybody to talk to.
Right.
So,
which is why I appreciate my brothers on this podcast, because I've never had it's very few people that I was able to have a very open dialogue with the bad that's going on in your life. Because, we had a discussion about small wins and how we kind of present ourselves on social media and things of that nature. It's just like, we're good. But it's like, we're not always good.
Yeah, facts.
And it's like, who can I talk to about this? Where's the safe space that may not be a therapist? So it's,
It's definitely in our mothers.
I definitely feel like if you talk to a friend or somebody that's able to allow you to do that, and sometimes your friend could be a therapist, like not in a way where it's, because I think we always think of it as, these people have to be like certified or professional, but it's like, if you made me feel better, job well done.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Shout out to you.
so
And if you made me maybe not feel the best, job well done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Oh, you're holding me accountable and no one else ever did.
Facts.
And now I have to like process this for myself. Thank you. Because I never had to do that. Because yes, you're very much one of those people. I'm not going to say you're welcome to you, but I will say that like you definitely fit into that space of a person that I would feel comfortable knowing that if you said something to me, you're saying that even though it may feel a little uncomfortable, that you're coming from a good place. Right. And you need those people in your life. Yes men suck. Just be honest with you.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than a yes man. You never grow from it.
Yeah.
I think the people that struggle the most with this are local rappers. Local rappers struggle from this the most
That's a
because
fact.
you're gonna send a song. Oh, that's fire. Don't send it to me.
Right.
I always
That was
appreciate my
terrible.
circles.
Right.
Right.
Because you're gonna get the, I know how to be constructive in my criticism, but criticism nonetheless.
Yeah.
And I think that if we applied that in all facets of our lives, we would all be a lot more healthier. So thank you to you guys for allowing me to vent and express myself
needed.
in ways. And I hope that I'm I'm
you
able
definitely
to do that
do.
for you.
Keep us on our toes.
Be our little sound boy.
Yeah, I do my best.
Yeah.
I do my best.
Definitely tells me when I'm fucking
Yes.
up.
Yeah.
We do got a few minutes left. If we don't have anything else to talk about, we can definitely wrap it up.
I'm trying
We
to.
actually said we were gonna wrap up.
Yeah. We got like 5 minutes.
Yeah, so
Oh, we can do it now. It don't matter to me.
yeah, I mean,
But I do want to ask, as a boy mom, I'm not sure how that would correlate from mother to daughter and then you to your son. But like, what would you, if there was like something that you wanted to say to your son about anything, about whether it's checking in as a mom or whatever, like what would you say to him so that he knows that like he has a voice with you, I guess. Like,
I don't know. I'm so awkward with
duh.
How old is your son?
He's 6.
Oh, okay.
So he doesn't really, he just talks at me. He doesn't
Yeah.
even care if
Yeah.
I want to hear it or not. So
That's good.
he's very like vocal, but I'm very like cautious about like just a lot of things. Like I'm a helicopter mom. So I think that I try too hard to be on top of him sometimes, and sometimes I like need to take a step back. It's like it's okay. He can make a mistake, and it's not the end of the world. And
do you think a lot of the mistakes that you address, because I know we have this conversation a lot, and you'll say, well, the Black community, do you think that you try to shield him away from the fact that, do you think his Blackness is a lot of what you're trying to shield and protect him because of the, I guess, hell we catch?
Yeah.
I think
Black
that yes and no. I feel like there's strength in being a Black man, and I also think that there's some traumas that come with being a Black man. I think that my son is very like too nice for me. He goes to a palm colored school, and
School is crazy.
Yo,
I mean that is what it is.
that is.
Is anybody else hearing this?
No, my mom does that. She'd be like,
Yeah, like and he is very like just
You don't
very.
even gotta turn
He's
your
a
hand,
sweet
bro.
kid. Like he's so sweet. Don't do that to him.
hey,
Okay.
touche.
That's crazy.
You're right.
No.
You're right. It's
First
kind
of all, Walk
I love
is
you, bro.
Mexican.
First off, don't do me like that.
but
I am Puerto Rican adjacent. Thank you.
Puerto Rico Jason's crazy.
at my cousin.
we're trying to stay on subject.
My bad.
But yeah, no.
I gotta get at least one off.
Like he's just so sweet. He's too sweet for his own good for me. Like I'm like, you got to beat these little people up. Like you can't just let them talk to you anyway. Talking about it's okay. It's not okay. Okay.
Gotta
Are you okay?
Put down.
Yeah, exactly. And which is weird because his dad's 6'4". He's a big guy. He's very aggressive. So it's like,
I know his dad. Yes, he is.
yeah, it's like, where'd you get this from? Like, I don't know. Like, he just.
He might change it though. He's still young.
I mean, I don't want him to change too much now.
Yeah, I was gonna say he has.
You
'cause
can't control that, but
That's good energy right there. You know
Right?
what I'm
No,
saying?
like he definitely has like a healing energy. Like
Yeah.
whenever you're around
Yeah.
him, like it's very infectious. Like
Yeah.
just like, but I know what it's like for a a Black man. Like you know what I'm saying. Like all this cute shit is gonna be over soon. So when you
No, that's
turn
a fact.
13.
He was like
Though you're gonna become
a whole adult to everybody else.
N-word, okay? So
Listen, that's a
it's
fact.
just
So you already a little.
let him enjoy it for now.
no.
He's
That's
only
what
6.
I'm trying to do. That's why I try to pull back. Like you know what? Let me let him have
Yeah.
it. After 12, honey. I don't know. If you ain't hardened up over here, you're gonna have to go over there with your daddy because he gonna have to teach you something. I don't know, but yeah.
I don't know, but yeah.
Listen, we're gonna close out with that. First and foremost, I would like to say to the ladies on this panel, thank you
Yeah,
very
fact.
much for like I said, being vulnerable and expressing, that kind of situations that you go through. Like you just don't know like what people are going through. So for you guys to really just share that with a broad audience, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I hope that you were comfortable. I didn't ask you too many invasive questions.
No.
Hopefully, Mom, you're not watching this. But
Thank you for listening.
I love you. I didn't mean any of this.
And
Love you
Sheik,
so
I know
much.
I
super
said what
last
I
minute.
said.
Thank you for and holding
Mom.
us down. You guys are amazing.
Facts.
You already know. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is another episode of the Nun The Wizer podcast. We appreciate you guys watching. Make sure that comment, like, subscribe. We're on YouTube for our visuals. We're on all of our major platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all of that for our audio. We release every Wednesday. We are very much engaged. We engage with all of the people that engage with us. So please grow with us. Again, comment, like, subscribe. Does anybody else have anything
And
to say
also
before we
comment
close
any
out?
mother-daughter relationships that you guys had.
Or any questions you
Comments,
feel we didn't address.
Yes.
And with that,
And ask your children if you're doing a good job.
Yep.
yeah, that's today. That's the goal for that.
Yeah.
That's the
ask your
homework.
children how you're doing, and let them give you a grade. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen,
Come back and tell us the grades.
we out.
Nun The Wizer.